Hi and welcome. I'm Cheryl. This is Your Journey Yoga, and today we're going to work on piriformis and sciatic issues. So working through that lower back into the hips, your glute, your hamstring. So depending upon where you're feeling it, how you're feeling it, how you're feeling, be gentle, be kind, be nice to yourself. This can travel all the way, starting at your lower back, down through your glute. It can cross down into your quadricep. It can go all the way down your hamstring, down to your foot. So just be really, really, really nice to yourself. And show yourself some grace. A towel, a rolled up towel. I have a bath towel that I've just folded and then rolled, but you can make it bigger or smaller. You can use a block or a bolster, just something that is going to be right for you when it comes time to do so. And if you need to, sit up on that bolster, on that pillow, on that blanket, whatever you need to get your bum a little bit higher off the floor, if that's more conducive today to where you're feeling. Roll those shoulders up and back and let your shoulders just gently slide down and away. Do that again, big shoulder roll. Take it up and back and shoulders slide down and away. Bring your hands down by your sides, lift that left arm up, and we're going to lean in. We're going to glue those sit bones to the ground. As you exhale, a little roll of that left side of the rib cage down, just lengthening and reaching. We roll it back open and rise, releasing that left hand down. Right arm comes up and over. We lean to the left. Glue those sit bones to the ground. A little lean, a little roll of the rib cage. And then open it back up and rise, releasing both hands down by your sides. Let's walk the hands forward, releasing the weight of the upper body down. You can support with the forearms, the hands, whatever you need. If you want to put a bolster or a blanket in your lap to round over it, that's absolutely fine. Just find your breath. Breathe into the space that needs a little extra love today. If it feels good to you, lift just slightly and walk your hands a little further forward, releasing the weight of the upper body down. Notice if your tailbone's lifted, your bum's lifted off of the mat. Gently press it back down, and you're just going to notice a really nice stretch in that lower lumbar region of your spine. We want these all to be really nice stretches. We don't want to inflame things any further. Make things even more mad than they are. Ice, heat, a little topical lotion or gel that works for you to help alleviate pain and to relax. Circle those hands back by your hips. Big circle the arms up and overhead. Reach it high. And release your hands down by your sides. And let's switch so the other leg is in front. So depending upon which side you're feeling it, just notice. It's okay. It might be in both, hopefully not. But if it's just one side, show a little more grace. Be a little more gentle. And we reach that left arm up and over. A little roll of the rib cage. Just a little bit hollowing the tummy and the chest. And then roll it back open. So mine's on my right side. Definitely feel it differently than I do on the left. So just taking in whatever feels right to you, right? So if your range is a little smaller on one side, it is okay. We're doing our best to get ourselves back to balance. And rise. And let's go ahead and walk those hands forward again. Releasing. Supporting. If you want that bolster or blanket in your lap, take it. If you need support of the forearms, use it. If it feels good to you to melt, no support needed, honor that. Notice if your tailbone has lifted off the mat, your sit bones have lifted off the mat, gently press them back down. And just breathe. Lifting just slightly, walk those hands a little further forward if that feels okay. Again, working to get those sit bones down, creating that space in that lower lumbar region of your spine. Inhale, circle the hands back by your hips. Big circle of those arms up and overhead. And gently release your hands down by your side. So we're going to spend the whole time on our mat, on our bum. We're going to tuck that right leg underneath us, and we're going to bring that left foot just to the base of the knee, or if it feels okay to you, cross to the top of the knee. And we're going to work to get that left sit bone back to the mat, sitting up nice and tall. So be nice to your knees. If you need to extend that right leg, you're welcome to do so. We gently pull that left knee in. If it feels good to you, stay right there. If you want a little more stretch, wrap the crook of that right elbow around the knee and pull it in, turning and looking out over that left shoulder. So by leveling out the pelvis, connecting that left sit bone to the mat, what do you notice? Be nice. If it's pain, back off. If it's just the discomfort of a good stretch, that's right where we want to be. Again, you can be sitting up on a bolster, a blanket, or a pillow, or you can have your bum against the mat. And slowly release that rotation. We're going to take that right hand, pulling on that ankle just slightly to draw those knees, to stack them as best we can. Now, if you have a lot of space there, it's okay. No worries, no judgment. We want to feel that good stretch in that left hip and sit up nice and tall. Our cow face pose. Find your breath. Quiet it down. Little tuck of your chin down towards your chest. Breathe. We lift our gaze, and we're going to sweep that left leg around. If that right leg was long, go ahead and bend that knee if it feels okay to you. And we're going to sit up nice and tall, rotating to the right, looking out over that right thigh. Breathe. And then gently straighten it back out. Work to level your pelvis as best you can. Rest your hands wherever you like. And let's walk it forward out over that right shin. Stack your hands. Relax the weight of your head. If you want to extend those arms out, feel free. And then slowly walk those hands back up. And we're going to sweep that left leg out, right leg out, cross the left, and bring that right foot in just below the knee. Sitting up nice and tall, allowing that left knee to open out to the side. And again, you can stay here with that foot towards the base of the knee, or you can cross to the top of the knee. Sit up tall. Use your hands to gently pull that right knee in. You're working to get both sit bones down against the ground. Just leveling out that pelvis as best you can. Leveling out those shoulders, lengthening your spine. Make sure you're breathing. If that feels pretty good and you want a deeper stretch, wrap the crook of that left elbow around the knee, pull it in, turn and look out over that back shoulder. And just breathe. Big, full, deep breaths. And gently releasing that rotation, left hand taking a hold just above the ankle, and go ahead and pull that foot back, stacking those knees as best you can. We want to have the ankles to either side of the hips, either side of the pelvis, and just sit up nice and tall. Lengthen the spine, a softness in those shoulders, a release through those hips. So if you're really locked up in those hips, try sitting up on a bolster or a pillow. Can really help. And then as you exhale, draw the chin down towards your chest. Always props are optional, but I encourage you at any time to just play with them. You can always search my channel for videos that work with props if you're not really sure how to use them, because it can be pretty cool. Gently lift your gaze. And we're going to sweep that right leg around and just kind of create a figure Z, if you will, a letter Z. And we're going to work to level out that pelvis. We turn to the left, hand on either side of that left knee, still working to keep that right sit bone down, right hip down, and rotate. Breathe. Listen to your body. Be kind, kind, kind. And then slowly, gently releasing, coming back to center, and we walk it forward. Again, you can support with those hands or the forearms. We relax the weight of the upper body down. Focusing on the inhales and the exhales. Focusing on letting go of any tension or tightness we're finding or feeling. And then slowly walk your hands back up. And we turn and extend those legs out long. We're going to grab that pillow, that bolster, whatever it is, and we're going to slide it underneath those knees. So I know when my sciatic is really kind of going gangbusters, my hamstrings, they get tight. So this really helps. So if you're here and you need it and it helps, use it. If you don't need it, you don't need to use it. You can keep those legs just long and extend those legs out. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to keep that length in the spine as we just slowly walk the hands forward. Releasing the hands down, making sure that those toes aren't going to flare out to the side, and just relax the weight of the head. Now, if having soft feet feels better for you, I encourage that. If you are able to flex those feet, go for it. If that takes you, by flexing your feet from a 6 to a 9, soften your feet. Rather have you at a 6 and really focusing on that breath than being at a 9 and all of a sudden feeling guarded and not being able to breathe slow and steady. Now options, if you're really taking care of that lower back and those hamstrings are super tight, I encourage you to walk your hands back up your legs. Hamstrings are pretty good. Lower back feels good. We're going to extend those arms and we're going to sit up nice and tall. Releasing your hands down by your sides. And again, pressing those palms down towards the ground, spine nice and tall. Our staff pose. If you don't need that towel, you can release it and extend those legs. Find your breath. Now soften those feet, crossing that right ankle over the left knee and sit up nice and tall. We bring the hands behind us and we're going to pull that left foot in. So anytime you come to a stretch that is too intense for today, back off. Find a place that feels good. Modification is to keep that foot further away and just let that knee gently sink. You can rock your hips side to side. So there's ways to play within the pose. You can keep that leg long and lean back. I just encourage you not to sink into your chest, but to stay up nice and tall. So anywhere from a straight leg to pulling it in as tightly as feels good to you. And the key is feels good to you. Here you can rock side to side too. You're going to get more motion through that upper body as opposed to those legs being further away from you. You can work to keep those shoulders square as well. And just let that action happen through the pelvis. If it feels better to stay static and hold it, hold it. Breathe. We pull that foot out and away from us, sitting up nice and tall. If it feels good to you, stay here. You like it better with your foot closer, keep it there. Or you can wrap the crook of the elbows around the outside of the knee and the outside edge of your foot and pull that leg in. Again, nice and long through the spine. Breathe. Should feel some nice love going on through that right hip. Anytime we come to a pose, a stretch, it's always going to be a 6 or 7. Highest point is an 8, but there's no reason to be at an 8. It's all about your breath and finding that right intensity to let go without making angry. And gently release it down. Extend right leg out. Sit up tall. Left ankle crosses just above that right knee. And we sit. Lengthen that spine. Find your breath. Again, you can have that towel underneath the knee. Always a great option. So if you're like, whoa, this is too intense, there's ways we can make it better. If you don't need it, it's all good. You might need it for a little bit and then your body's like, oh, okay, I'm all right. If it feels good to you, lean back, pull that right foot in. Remember, you can stay at any point that feels good to you. Doesn't matter which direction your hands are facing. And we're just going to gently press that left knee out and away. That left foot should be able to move your ankle, should be able to roll that ankle so that we don't have that foot too far in and that ankle sickles. So we want the ankle to the outside so that we have that mobility and we're not overstretching any of the tendons along the outside of the ankle. Again, you're welcome pulling that foot in. Make sure you're not hollowing your tummy and chest, losing your neck, but you're sitting up nice and tall. If you're like, this is just a little too much, then just back it off. Feels good to you, back your foot off. Wrap the crook of the elbows around the knee and around the outside of your foot. Sit up as tall as you can sit. Feel that activation of the muscles in that upper back. Feeling a release and a good stretch in that left hip. And we gently release that foot down and slowly extend the leg, extending that left leg. Let's cross that right ankle up and over the left. Again, slide that pillow towel underneath your knees if you need it. Otherwise, keep those legs long and just slowly walk it forward. Relax the weight of the upper body down. So maybe you don't need it under your knees, but you want to put it kind of around the tummy. Just bringing it in. Oh, that feels pretty good, actually. So that you can just relax upper body. So feeling that hamstring stretch, glute, piriformis. I want this to feel super good, my friend. And then slowly roll it up. Release that right side. Cross the left ankle up and over the right. Again, place it underneath the knees, even if the other side didn't feel like it needed it. This side might. You can always take it out. You can grab multiple towels and go ahead and slide it on out. Even if you're not sure, do I need it? Do I not need it? Try it. See how it feels. And slowly walk it back up. Sit up nice and tall. Remove that ankle. Remove the towel. And we pull those feet in. Soles of the feet coming together. You can sit on your pillow. You can sit up on a block, a bolster, whatever feels good to you. And just pull those heels in as tightly as feels good. And let those knees open. You can have blocks or blankets underneath the knees to support them if this is too intense for you, for the groin and for the hip. We hinge it forward. Pulling, lengthening through the crown of the head. Make sure you're not pulling on those feet too much. They're just there for support. We pull and we lengthen. Lengthen that spine. Only as low as feels good to you. Keep that core nice and strong. Breathe. A little tuck of your chin, a little rounding of the shoulder, and ever so slowly, starting at the base of your spine, we stack each vertebra one at a time till we sit up nice and tall. Let's cross those legs. Sitting up tall, rest your hands comfortably, close your eyes. Roll those shoulders up and back. Let your shoulders slide down and away. Turn your palms to face the sky, drape the wrists over the knees, index finger and thumb gently touching. We breathe slow and steady, letting go of the rest of the world. Within our mind's eye, we see a bright light, warm in color, comforting and strong. Slowly we watch as that light travels down through the neck, through the shoulders, down the spine. Coming down into the lower back, into the pelvis, through that hip socket, the hip joint, warming and healing. We allow our body to heal, to mend and to strengthen, encouraging the process of health and well-being. As we keep the mind quiet, our energy calm, we are present and aware. We pull our hands to heart center. A gentle tuck of your chin down towards your chest. A moment of gratitude for even though our body is not 100% maybe, it is still capable of so many beautiful things. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helped. I hope you are on a journey to feeling 100%. Remember, show yourself some grace. Keep a sense of humor. Be kind and move mindfully. Gently lift your face. Open those beautiful eyes. I thank you so much for joining me today. Be well. Take care. And namaste.